And if I told you once, I ain't gonna tell you twice. Salute all my real ones. Yeah. Listen, champ, we got Migos before they were famous. Biography. R.I.P. Takeoff, R.I.P. Takeoff, R.I.P. Takeoff. We gonna get straight to the video. Like, button, subscribe, on notification bell, press those. Let's go.
Migos' album Culture would debut on Billboard in the #1 spot. Tracks like Bando, Look at My Dab, Hannah Montana, Fight Night, Handsome and Wealthy, Versace would put Migos on the map. Where they collaborated with Riff Raff, Young Thug, Gucci Mane, Rich Homie Quan, Drake, and Justin Bieber.
On the low, take a famous girl that way, then no paparazzi.
Before Donald Glover gave them a shout out while accepting a Golden Globe, calling them the Beatles of this generation. A cab driver out in Kenya decided to get this before their famous image detailed onto his car. Which is truly remarkable. This show has come a long way. So of the Migos, back in 2010, they were living in a bando, which for my white viewers is an abandoned house, where they would cook and sell crack. The place didn't look all that bad, and it appears they had a pretty good fish tank that must have come with the place. Here they sharpened their skills as rappers, and their living conditions birthed inspiration for their breakout hit, Bando, which first got them noticed by local DJs at strip clubs and nightclubs. The three Migos have known each other pretty much since birth. Quavo, the oldest, is Offset's cousin, with the two the same age, and Takeoff is the youngest. He's also Quavo's nephew. All of the boys have had their run-ins with the law, but it is Offset with the biggest rap sheet, having served time for stealing a car and probation violation, which happened around the same time the trio really started to take off. And with them blowing up and him stuck in a prison cell, it must have been tough. Guys, my name's Michael McCretton, documenting the life and
That's great.
Quavo, born Quavacious Marshall on April 2nd, 19...
Yo, bro. Your name is a password, Quavo. Hold on.
And later moving to nearby Lawrenceville, Quavo, born Quavacious Marshall on...
Quavacious, bro. Your name is Quavacious. Yo, I thought Quavo was like a flip on Jose Cuervo. And you know, like, you know what I'm saying? If you're not Spanish, you're gonna probably say, yo, I want some Quavo. I thought that's what he was. Yo, Quavacious. Bro, yo.
April 2nd, 1991. Offset born Kiari Cephas on December 14th, 1991. And Takeoff born Kershnik Ball on June 18th, 1994.
Oh, man.
And Takeoff, you had no choice but to get rich. Your last name Ball for real?
Yeah.
Did you ever want to use that as your rap name?
Nah.
The group extremely close with Quavo's sister being Takeoff's mother and Offset their cousin. There's no father figures around with Quavo's father passing away when he was just 4. Takeoff and Offset's respective fathers abandoned them when they were young, and it was Quavo's mother who would often look after all three boys, supporting them with her work as a hairstylist.
We always been together as one. We was rapping in the basement, in Mama's basement.
Rap became an interest for the boys early on, with local legend Gucci Mane being one of their faves, also Outkast and Hot Boys. It was Quavo and Takeoff who first started rapping before even hitting their teens. Quavo began recording under the name Crunk Boy by the 8th grade, making CDs of his music and passing them around class. It wasn't just music that Quavo was into, he was also a promising athlete. He was once a starting quarterback for the Barkmar High School Patriots at Lil Burn. Takeoff had started making beats and developing rhythms in the 7th grade, but didn't start taking music seriously till 2011. Him and Quavo would work together under the name Polo Club back in 2009.
That's when all the polo was out. Everybody was wearing the polo in Atlanta. And all that was going on. That was like when we was like in 8th grade.
Despite Quavo's talent on the football field, he decided to drop out of school during his senior year so he could focus more on becoming a rapper. He'd also started pushing Offset to rap as well. Quavo even went as far as to write his cousin's first rap song, and Offset, he took it from there. Eventually they would decide to form a rap group together, all three of them, but they needed to decide on a name.
We're not Mexicans, we're from out of town.
Living in the Spaghetti Junction of Gwinnett County, there's a heavy Latino population. This influenced them, as with them wanting to rep the north side of Atlanta, they decided to go with the name Migos. It also made a lot of sense, because there was 3 of them.
The Free Amigos!
That's right.
Now, I'm not entirely sure when they started living in an abandoned house, but it was in Gwinnett County, located in the suburbs north of Atlanta. According to their lyrics, the bando has boarded up windows, and there they would cook crack cocaine, which they would sell. Now, I'm not saying just because it's in their lyrics it has to be true, but the boys never denied that they were making money doing illegal things. Studio in the house and began producing CDs.
It'd be crazy if like they just went back and did like a podcast interview with like Gillian Wallow or something like. I mean, it doesn't have to be specifically, it does. Like right there, like, you know what I'm saying? Like where it all started.
Which they would take to the clubs.
Like I always say, like one of the things that pisses me off just about, you know, not pisses me off, but something that I wish is that every rapper, every famous rapper that we love, you know, going back from the old school ones, you know, Jay-Z, Nas, DMX, Eminem, to, you know, all the new lit rappers, whether it's the Migos, Lil Baby, Lil Durk, you know what I'm saying, Roddy Ricch, Da Baby, you can't even say Tory Lanez, but all of them, if they all would have had like a camera guy following them around like Kanye did. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, to me, like aside from the music, one of the most interesting things has always been like, yo, what were you thinking, or what was being done in the studio when this album was made, when Get Rich or Die Trying was made, you know what I'm saying, when Good Kid, Mad City was made, like what was the vibes like? I want to see what was happening, you know, in your personal life and in the studio when you was making those albums, you know what I'm saying?
Their tracks on the DJs. One of their childhood friends, DJ Ray G, was happy to help them out, but other DJs who needed some convincing, the boys would buy them a few drinks. It was around this time Offset picked up a charge for stealing a car, but we'll get more to that a little later in this video. This was an exciting time. The Migos were getting a name for themselves in Atlanta. Clubs like Mansion and Obsessions would play tracks off their first mixtape, Jug Season, released on August 25th, 2011, and their follow-up, No Label, dropped on June 1st, 2012. Once No Label's Bando became a local hit, it caught the attention of well-known Atlanta producer and longtime Gucci Mane collaborator, Zaytoven, who I need to make a Before Their Famous video on, like ASAP. After they were rubbing shoulders with the likes of Drake and Gucci Mane, they bumped into Drizzy at Atlanta's Hot 107.9's birthday bash, and he started naming off songs to their tracks that he had listened to. Gucci Mane brought them into his studio for about 6 weeks and had them record a mountain of material. He offered them a contract through his 1017 Brick Squad label, but they turned it down and signed instead with Quality Control Music.
Man, they Quavo stunt, man. We got down just let this show about the, you know what I'm saying, on the way to the globe, you know what I mean? Don't get no sleep around that bit, man. Migo team.
In 2013, Migos released their single Versace, produced by Zaytoven, which peaked at number 99 on the US Billboard Hot 100. The boys had sent the track to Drake, who liked what he heard and decided to release his own official remix of the song, which he performed at iHeartRadio Music Festival. Blew up and made it onto most lists as one of the best songs for 2013. The boys released YRN that year and received critical acclaim. All of a sudden, the members were being compared to Gucci Mane, Soulja Boy, and Future, but as a group. They were getting nominated for BET Awards, they would drop more mixtapes. All in all, things were going good. They bought their mom a house, and were all over the place. But as the old saying goes,
the more money you make, the more problems you get.
There were the drive-by shootings in Florida, which allegedly happened because a few local guys who were riding with Migos turned out to have some enemies. Then they were accused of physically attacking fans at 2 separate live shows. 2015, at the Georgia Southern University Spring Bling concert, the police decided to check the boys' tour bus. Soon after, Quavo and Offset were arrested for felony possession of cocaine, oxycodone, and codeine plus charges of carrying a loaded weapon in a school zone. Yeah. Offset pled guilty to a probation violation, itself stemming back from his theft-related felony from 2011. He was sent to the slammer, but it didn't slow down the boys, and they released their debut studio album, Young Rich Nation. 2 months later, their single, Back to the Bando, started the dance craze of having everyone dabbing. 8 months in custody, Offset was released on December 4th, 2015. The team was back together and got to work,
bro.
Putting out more great material. As for the rest of the story, well, you know the story because this is Before They're Famous.
Word. Nah, but yeah, man, like, it's crazy the beginnings that they had, you know what I'm saying? It obviously, like, the rags to riches story is something that we're all familiar with. But, you know, the fact that they was able to push through and they got to where they got to, man. But unfortunately, RIP Takeoff. And I really, really hope, you know what I'm saying? Because what I was about to say is that I hope that Quavo and Offset, you know what I'm saying, could put the differences to the side. Because it's like, yo, y'all lost y'all brother. And at any moment, you know, it could be anybody gone. So it's like, if you got family and, you know, the differences can be settled, just settle it, bro. And just, you know what I'm saying? Like, just continue on as brothers. Because, you know, like, it's not only the fact that he's not here, but it's like, yo, you know, you only get, you know, how many brothers do you really have? And it's like, You know what I'm saying? Y'all made it out the mud together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Keep that love going. But at the end of the day, it's easy for me to say without knowing what the inner workings of whatever they got going on. And I don't need to know. I'm just saying. But yeah, man, I'm going to leave it right there. Let me know what y'all thought about the video. My name is Rain. Catch you on the flip side. RC, peace, a little wait for it.